star-studded show like this week's.
If there's one year that completely rewrote the DNA of popular music, it's 1964. This was the year the Beatles landed in America. Motown perfected its hit machine. Surf rock reached its golden crest. And the girl groups sang with a sweetness that hid the cultural revolution simmering beneath. Television brought music into the living room. Radio united teenagers across oceans. And for the first time, pop wasn't just entertainment, it was identity. So here, we're counting down 15 pop songs from 1964 that we'll never forget. These aren't just chart toppers. They're cultural turning points that shaped the world's soundtrack. The ultimate teenage melodrama, with revving motorcycle effects, spoken dialogue, and Mary Weiss's trembling vocal delivery. Leader of the Pack felt more like a mini-movie than a song. Released in November 1964, it went straight to #1 in the U.S.
I felt so at him, leader of helpless, what could I do? I'll never fool, don't care.
The Shangri-Las weren't glamorous Motown stars or British invaders. They were working-class New York girls, and their songs carried a raw, gritty authenticity. Teenagers saw themselves in the music, while parents worried about its glorification of rebellion and death. It was dangerous, it was camp, and it was unforgettable.
Where I'll be under the boardwalk as they sail under the boardwalk.
Few songs better captured the romantic nostalgia of summer love. Recorded after the tragic passing of lead singer Rudy Lewis, Johnny Moore's tender vocals made Under the Boardwalk a bittersweet hit.
Boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun.
It charted at #4 in the US, and beyond the numbers, it became a cultural postcard. Warm sand, young lovers, and an escape from reality. It remains one of the Drifters' signature songs, a gentle contrast to the louder pop revolutions of the year. Jamaican teenager Millie Small changed pop history with this one. When My Boy Lollipop hit #2 in both the US and UK, it introduced ska, the lively precursor to reggae, to a global audience.
You are my one desire. What am I, lollipop? You are my one desire. What am I, lollipop?
Millie's playful voice, paired with the offbeat rhythm, gave international listeners their first taste of Caribbean pop. Her success opened doors for the eventual worldwide embrace of reggae in the 1970s. In many ways, My Boy Lollipop was the first true global crossover Caribbean pop hit. At just 17, Leslie Gore released one of the boldest pop statements of the decade. "You Don't Own Me" was a defiant declaration of female independence at a time when most women in pop were singing submissively about heartbreak. Though it peaked at #2, blocked by the Beatles' "I Want to Hold Your Hand," its cultural impact outlived chart positions. The song became a proto-feminist anthem, later revived in films like The First Wives Club. In 1964, it signaled that pop music could also be about freedom and identity. By early '64, many critics wondered if any British act could rival the Beatles' momentum. Then came the Dave Clark Five with Glad All Over, armed with a pounding, almost militaristic beat that they dubbed the Tottenham Sound. They didn't topple the Fab Four, but they proved the British invasion was no one-band phenomenon. In fact, they were the first British group to appear on The Ed Sullivan Show after the Beatles cementing their role in widening the invasion. In June 1964, a girl group from New Orleans managed the unthinkable, knocking the Beatles off the #1 spot on the U.S. charts. Chapel of Love was a simple, joyous celebration of marriage, but its cultural significance was bigger. It reminded the world that American girl groups still had teeth in a year dominated by British rockers. Its longevity is remarkable. It remains a wedding staple decades later.
With our burning love that stings, ooh, baby.
This was the song that turned Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, and Florence Ballard into stars. Released in June 1964, Where Did Our Love Go? Became the Supremes' first #1 hit, the beginning of a staggering run of success.
Deep inside, and it hurts so bad, baby. Where did our love go? Ooh, don't.
Behind the scenes, Motown's Holland Dozier Holland songwriting team was perfecting a formula. Simple but irresistible melodies, hand claps, and Ross's feather-light vocals. It was the start of Motown's global dominance.
Instead of breaking up, let's do some kissing and making love. My baby love, why must we separate, my love?
Just months later, they doubled down. Baby Love not only became their second #1, it also topped the UK chart, something even many British acts couldn't manage at the time. By late 1964, the Supremes were not just Motown's crown jewels, they were America's answer to the Beatles. They proved pop wasn't just a boy's game.
Tell you from the start, I can't be torn apart from my guy. As a matter of opinion, I think you gotta help.
Before the Supremes, Motown had another queen, Mary Wells. With her Smokey Robinson-penned hit, My Guy, she became Motown's first female superstar.
Movie star, but when it comes to all the ladies, that's not he may not be a movie star, but when it comes to me.
The song topped the Billboard Hot 100 in spring 1964 and helped Motown break into international touring. Wells even joined the Beatles on their UK tour. My Guy was smooth, playful, and soulful, an early taste of how Motown would dominate not just the charts, but global youth culture. By mid-1964, it seemed impossible to dethrone the British invasion. Then Roy Orbison sunglasses on, voice soaring released, Oh Pretty Woman. With its unforgettable riff, the song shot to #1 worldwide.
You're right, come to me, baby.
Orbison was the antithesis of the teen idol look, but his voice was operatic, commanding, and vulnerable all at once. This track reminded the world that American pop still had giants who could compete with the new wave.
My buddies and me, you're getting real well known, yeah. We always take my car, cause it's never been beat. And
The Beatles had Britain, but the Beach Boys had California. I Get Around gave the group their first U.S. #1 in May 1964. Brian Wilson's layered production and the group's intricate harmonies made it more than a surf anthem. It was studio innovation.
round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, 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 I get around,
Behind the sun-soaked image, Wilson was pushing pop into new sonic territory. The Beatles were listening closely. By the following year, the two bands would begin an unspoken rivalry that would raise the bar for everyone. That opening chord. No one even agrees exactly how it was played. Guitarists are still debating it. But when A Hard Day's Night hit airwaves in July 1964, it was more than a song. It was the theme to the Beatles' first movie, a film that turned them from pop stars into global pop icons. With this track, pop music entered cinema, branding, and mass media in a way never seen before. The Beatles weren't just on the charts. They were on the big screen, in lunchboxes, and in history books. Here's a stat that proves 1964 was Beatlemania's peak. When Can't Buy Me Love hit #1 in April, the Beatles held all top 5 spots on the Billboard Hot 100. No artist has ever matched that feat. The song itself was deceptively simple, but it captured the essence of what made the Beatles unstoppable: joy, melody, and a sense of youth that transcended geography.
let me be your man, and please, yeah, you got that some.
This is the song that broke America. Released in the U.S. in January 1964, it sold 1 million copies in just 10 days and hit #1 weeks before the Beatles appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show.
And when I touch you, I feel happy. Understand when I feel that something.
That Sullivan performance, watched by 73 million Americans, turned I Want to Hold Your Hand into the soundtrack of a cultural shift. It wasn't just a hit, it was the starting gun of the British invasion. Hey, Pop Lore family! Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together.
She loves you, and you know you should. She loves you, and you know you should be glad.
The rallying cry of a generation. Released in the UK in '63, but exploding in the US in 1964, She Loves You and its signature, Yeah, 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 became shorthand for the pop revolution.
You know that can't be bad. She loves you, and with a love like that, you know you should be.
It wasn't just catchy, it was the sound of youth itself, distilled into 2.5 minutes. By the end of 1964, the Beatles weren't just a band, they were a global phenomenon. And this song was their anthem. The journey doesn't end here. Pop lovers, watch this next.